This is a very serious story, ladies and gentlemen. 4 American soldiers are found dead after vanishing in Lithuania, reportedly near the border with Belarus. And man, people are worried. Look, it's a sad story either way. And I hope we get some information on how these U.S. troops died. But the scary thing is, I know, probably a lot of people don't want me to talk about it, but with the proximity to Belarus, there's concerns that this could be an expansion of the war in Ukraine, force Donald Trump's hand, and make everything a whole lot worse. Here's the story from the Daily Mail. 4 U.S. Army soldiers have reportedly been found dead the day after they were reported missing during a training exercise in Lithuania. The 4 servicemen, who have not been identified by authorities, were with the 1st Brigade, 3rd Infantry Division. Early reports indicate that the soldiers may have been traveling in an M88 recovery vehicle, one of the largest armored vehicles used by the U.S. military, which may have fallen into a body of water. Okay. The soldiers have been reported missing around 4:45 p.m. Tuesday following a training exercise near Prabade, Lithuania, sparking a widespread search conducted by the U.S. Army and Lithuanian authorities. The soldiers were reportedly carrying out a tactical training routine at the General Silvestris Zukauskis, I'm pronouncing that wrong probably, training in Prabade, probably pronouncing that wrong too, which is less than 6 miles from the border with Belarus. The Lithuanian Armed Force said Wednesday they identified a possible location of the missing soldiers and their vehicle. The military said in a statement that a search and rescue operation is underway, led by the Lithuanian Armed Forces, with additional capabilities from the Fire Protection and Rescue Department and other institutions. Officials have not offered any details regarding how the soldiers or their vehicle went missing, nor the manner of their reported deaths. Okay, let's just pause. I don't want to get sensational. It's a crazy story, and who knows what happened. Maybe they drove into water and they drowned. That seems kind of crazy, but these things can happen. We've got some images. The U.S. military was performing joint training exercises with Lithuanian forces amid rising tensions between Baltic nations and Russia. This is what is alarming. Let me pull up Google Earth for you guys. And I can pull you up this. Actually, let's do this. Let's do the Ukraine battle map. That's better. The Ukrainian battle map. What's going on currently in Ukraine and Russia? Take a look at this. Here's the concern. So if you take a look at this battle map, we could move over to Lithuania, and you can see here, you've got the border with Belarus. Belarus is aligned with Russia, and Russian troops are stationed there. You can also see that not only is Lithuania bordering Belarus, they're actually bordering Russia to the west. You've got Kaliningrad, which is a Russian oblast, north of Poland and southwest of Lithuania. So you've got Russian troops right there on the border. You've got Russian Navy moving in and out of the Baltic. And you've got Belarusian troops and Russian troops as potential conflict, I suppose. Putin had reportedly been using Belarus to stage Russian nuclear weapons as the conflict was heating up. So again, let's just put a pause real quick. Hopefully this is not an escalation of war, some kind of false flag or direct attack on U.S. troops that may get us involved in a full-scale war. Considering what's been going on, I hope not. I do want to say this. Russia's made some agreements, and I think there's some movement towards a ceasefire. So there's a Black Sea ceasefire right now, meaning that Ukraine and Russia are going to stop fighting. Again, we'll go to the battle map here. They're going to stop fighting in the Black Sea, which is good. We've got to zoom out a little bit. But Russia wants the U.S. to pull out weapons and drop sanctions before they will agree to a wide-scale ceasefire. So I'm going to say this right now. I don't think foul play. I don't think anybody should jump the gun on this one. You know, I want to do the segment because I want to get in front of it and just say, in my opinion, accidents happen, and it's a tragic story of that 4 troops lost their lives. They're presumed dead. But the last thing we want is for any of this to be exploited to escalate the war, and I fear that's what may happen. They go on to say, Lithuania, along with neighbors Latvia and Estonia, have often had tense ties with Russia since declaring independence from the Soviet Union in 1990. All are members of NATO. Relations in the region worsened following Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, and Lithuanian President Gitanas Nausėda has been one of the most vocal European leaders supporting Ukraine in its fight against Russian President Vladimir Putin's forces. In a press release issued before the soldiers were reportedly found, Lieutenant General Charles Constanza said he would like to personally thank the Lithuanian armed forces and first responders who quickly came to our aid in our search operations. It's this kind of teamwork and support that exemplifies the importance of our partnership and our humanity regardless of what flags we wear on our shoulders, he added. The search included the deployment of helicopters from the Air Force and State Border Guard Service. The U.S. Army has not commented on the soldiers' deaths and previously said the soldiers were on a scheduled tactical training at the time of the incident. It's a developing story. There's more information to come. I do believe I may have an update here. Let's see. We got 4 U.S. soldiers with the 1st Armored Brigade Combat Team, 3rd Infantry Division from Fort Stewart, Georgia, have been found dead at a training ground in eastern Lithuania near the border with Belarus, with it believed that their M88A2 armored recovery vehicle sunk into a swamp during an exercise on Tuesday near Prabati, Lithuania. You know, I hate to say it, man, but I hope that's the case. Seriously. And I hope this turns out to be a big nothing burger. But considering the tensions in the region and the escalation, figured we'd bring it up. Previous information. I don't know. They say their armored vehicle. Lithuanian armed forces led the search. So it looks like it's just a training accident and kind of brutal. I'll just put it this way. I don't know why we've got U.S. troops in Lithuania. Honestly, like let's talk about this. What is the deployment to Lithuania for? This is where we are getting into the major risks of World War III. I don't know why. We are right now dealing with this aftermath of the Signal text messaging scandal, which honestly, I mean, it's remarkable how angry people are about it, to be honest, when it's just like, okay, a journalist was given information, but that's routine. Journalists are often intentionally given this information. So we've got U.S. troops in Lithuania, Poland, Germany. I mean, basically everywhere in Europe. We are footing the bill for European defense while they are engaging in conflict with Russia, dragging us, the United States, thousands of miles away. I don't know why we're engaged in this. We can jump down and take a look at Yemen. And once again, you can see with the Gulf of Aden and the Suez Canal, the United States is basically the world police. And my question is, why? Why are 4 American troops dead in Lithuania? Now, by all means, people are going to come up with a lot of reasons. They're going to explain the reason why we must have U.S. troops abroad. There's concerns about Chinese expansion. We don't want a one world unipolar Chinese communist government. Fine, I get it. But the U.S. government never justifies this to the people. And that's basically what we got with the Signal messages that got leaked. J.D. Vance is basically saying the American people don't even know who the Houthis are or why we're bombing these people in Yemen. We never declared war on them. The U.S. basically just goes around bombing targets it determines are against its interests. So we're basically in a state of warfare all over the planet all the time. That is not what the Founding Fathers intended, and it's not what the American people want. So the last thing any of us wants is to see a story where 4 servicemen, 4 U.S. Army personnel are dead, even if it's an accident. Again, it's kind of hard to say, but I hope it was just an accident. That's what it's sounding like. These are the stories we get, and we wonder why our border isn't secure, our infrastructure is failing, but we got money for days to wage war and engage in these operations in foreign countries that won't do it themselves. Who was it who had that line? They got was it Tupac? They got money. They can't feed the poor, but they got money for wars, but they can't feed the poor. Now, look, I don't think just giving food to everybody answers anything, solves any problems. I'm just saying outright. I'm tired of this default position that we need to have U.S. troops everywhere in the world all the time without justification. I'm tired of the double standards that Trump is a great president when he fires missiles into Syria. That's the story. I'm tired of the double standards, man. I want transparency. I want honesty. And largely, I don't think there's any justification for why the U.S. effectively occupies so many of these countries. Following World War II, we never left. We stayed in Japan. We stayed in Germany. We eventually occupied South Korea, to which we still do. Now, don't get me wrong, South Koreans very much like our presence there. But we went in there, joined the war on one side of the faction, and we've been there ever since. I just want to know why, legitimately, a vague response of, we don't want someone else to take control. Okay, Europe should be footing the bill for their own defense. Yet here we are time after time hearing about how our men and women are dying in a foreign country where we're not even at war. Just think about it that way. Someone comes to you and says, did you know that 4 Americans died today? And you're like, wow, where? Lithuania? Why? Well, they're in the army. I know. Why are they in Lithuania? What are they doing that we need to be in that country right now? How many Lithuanian troops are in the United States? How many Lithuanian troops are in Chechnya or Czechia? You get my point. Man, I feel for the families. I'm sorry to hear the story. It's breaking news, and hopefully it's just an accident and this doesn't escalate anything. But I'll wrap it up there. Stay tuned. We got more segments coming up, and we'll see you all in a bit.